Mountaineering that is going horribly wrong on Mount Manaslu. Amidst the towering peaks of Mount Manaslu, where icy slopes conceal deadly secrets, a legendary mountain climber embarks on an audacious descent with her partner. But as they brave the unyielding terrain and the looming threat of avalanches, a dark force lingers, waiting to reveal its merciless grip on fate. Will they conquer the mountain's wrathful embrace, or will they become victims of the horrible Mount Manaslu mountain climbing tragedy? On the morning of Monday, September 26 at 10:40 a.m., world-famous ski mountaineer Hillary Nelson and her climbing partner Jim Morrison reached the summit of Manaslu, which has an elevation of 76,781 feet. They got into their skis and started their descent, but not long after that, Nelson was swept off her feet by a minor avalanche. According to a post that Morrison made on Instagram, the woman plummeted around 1,500 meters down the southern side of the mountain in Nepal. After realizing that there was nothing he could do to assist her, he descended the mountain and arrived back at base camp without incident. After spending 2 days searching for her in a helicopter, Morrison and a rescue crew finally spotted her body, and they were able to collect it. The body was subsequently transported to Kathmandu. Nelson, who was 49 years old, was a titan in her industry. She was one of the ski mountaineers with the most impressive resume in the world, a mother to 2 boys, a guide for many people, and an example for even more. The conditions in which she thrived, which are naturally unfriendly to human life and consist of distant high alpine regions that she explored on foot and by ski, are the types of situations in which she found success. Her training has resulted in the deaths of many of its most devoted disciples, yet Nelson seemed to exude an air of invincibility. Her great physical strength, her serene and resonant manner, and the many years during which she has gone successfully over perilous terrain all contributed to this impression. Climber Will Gadd paid respect by writing, "I and every mountain person alive today feel the roar of a big spirit passing." Nelson spent her childhood in Seattle, where she began to ski in the Cascade Mountains. But her skiing career didn't really start to go well until she moved to Chamonix, France in the early 1990s after finishing college at Colorado College. There, she honed her talents in technical climbing and began pursuing larger and more difficult objectives on her skis as she progressed. Her victory at the European Extreme Skiing Tournament held in Chamonix in 1996 earned her the title of champion. By the year of 1999, she had secured a sponsorship with the North Face, which provided her with the opportunity to embark on excursions to some of the most distant and formidable mountains in the world. Athletes who want to excel at climbing and skiing in the expedition style need to be careful, organized, and committed. They also need to have a healthy amount of ambition while maintaining enough humility to be alive. According to climber Emily Harrington, Hillary was unyielding to an extreme degree. She put up an incredible amount of effort for everything, and her heart's desire was to be powerful and successful. She exhibited such a high level of zeal. When Harrington and Nelson were the only women on a 3-month Everest adventure in 2012, they created a deep connection that has lasted to this day. Harrington and Nelson encountered each other through their mutual sponsor, the North Face. During that expedition, Nelson became the first woman to climb 2 8,000-meter peaks in a single day when she reached the summits of Everest and Lhotse inside a 24-hour time frame. Her accomplishment helped her gain prominence on a global scale. Her accomplishments made her a larger-than-life character, but she never bought into the hype, climber Mark Seinet wrote in an homage to her passing after she passed away. She wore the mantle of being one of the world's preeminent ski mountaineers, male or female, with grace and genuine humility. In 2015, she accomplished the first female descent of Makalu La Kula, which is located on Makalu, a mountain that is 27,766 feet tall. In 2017, she accomplished a spectacular double summit on Denali by climbing Kasson Ridge and skiing the Mesner Col. The same year, she also earned a first descent on the 21,298-foot Papsura Peak in the Indian Himalaya, along with Morrison and photographer Chris Figenshaw. Both of these accomplishments were accomplished the same year, and she and her partner Morrison made the first ski descent of Lhotse the following year, which is one of the reasons why National Geographic named her one of their Adventurers of the Year. In that same year, she was given the role of captain of the Global Athlete Squad for the North Face, a position that had previously been held by climber Conrad Anker for 3 decades. In the time in between those 2 highlights, her schedule was filled with dozens of other journeys to places like unknown peaks in Myanmar, Baffin Island, and the Andes. I don't think she could truly handle normal life without having that other side, without constantly being on the brink. And it was clear that she was having the time of her life, Harrington notes. When we were out on an expedition doing something really complicated and dangerous that required a lot of mountain experience, that's when she was at peace. That was the environment in which she thrived. But even if there was nothing else, Nelson's athleticism, ability, and desire would have been sufficient to help her become the best in her sport. But what really made her special was how she behaved in her relationships. She managed to be both a superhero and an approachable friend. She was also a member of the activist community, working with the nonprofit organization Protect Our Winters to advocate for robust environmental policies, and served on the board of directors of the American Alpine Club. She was a force, strong and powerful, but she also had no fear of being vulnerable, expressing her fears, or being honest. According to Harrington, she had this tenderness and rawness about her that she was willing to share with us, especially younger women. That attitude was shared by professional skier Ingrid Backstrom in an Instagram post where she said, "She showed me that you don't need to be the only tough and badass to succeed in the mountains. You can be kind and nurturing, hard as nails, and still soft and caring." Many people often judge mountaineers with families because they willingly put themselves in risky situations. It's not surprising that women face more criticism than men in these circumstances. Harrington recounts one article that came out during their 2012 Everest expedition that questioned Nelson's choices as a mother that left her in tears. The article was written around the time when they were climbing Mount Everest, and Nelson was not immune to criticism for participating in significant missions while raising her now teenage sons, Graydon and Quinn. However, Nelson was unapologetic about her life that she chose, according to Harrington. She was aware that she was going in a direction that was not typical for most women. At a time when you had to choose between your athletic career and being a mother, she refused to choose, and she made the decision to become a mother instead of pursuing a career in athletics. Nelson was transparent about her personal challenges to find a healthy balance, including how challenging it was for her to be away from her children and how their presence impacted how she navigated the mountains. But the high alpine was where she truly came to life, and rather than making concessions in either the mountains or at home, she doggedly chased what she desired in both settings with a fiery passion. There are no words to describe the love for this woman, my life partner, my lover, my best friend, and my mountain partner, Morrison wrote in an homage to the mountain partner on Instagram. I'm at a loss for words, and in the midst of my grief, I'm concentrating on her children and how they'll go ahead. Hillary was the most motivational person I've ever met, and now her spirit will steer the ship for all of our collective souls. May there be peace among us. Please pray for her family and community, which is spread out in many different locations on this earth. I'm utterly heartbroken about the fact that she's gone. That's all for today's video, but we'll be right back with more soon. So please don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.